Like it's a good thing for black people to be selling drugs in our community. It is not.
What is the leading cause of the separation of black families?
I think it's a degradation of values in the black community.
Would you say that the criminalization, black men disproportionately going to jail more, has an effect on the separation of the black households?
I would agree to that, but
yes.
I would also say that is because of the choices and decisions that these young black men are making.
Perfect, thank you. I was hoping you would say that. So,
is that not true? You don't go to jail.
Hold on,
you go to jail for selling drugs.
Okay, you go to jail for selling drugs. Can I read you a quote from Nixon's domestic policy chief, John Ehrlichman? This is at the start of the war on drugs, which we know is what led to a lot of mass incarceration of the black community, a significant increase in black men imprisoned and incarcerated for drug possession and selling, right?
Okay, hold on.
So here's the quote.
I'm gonna let you quote it.
Okay.
But we do recognize that there was decisions that were made by black people to sell drugs.
Absolutely. Now, can I read you the quote? This is John Ehrlichman, Nixon's domestic policy chief, right? He's responsible for primarily leading the war on drugs. We knew we couldn't make it illegal to be either against the Vietnam War or black, but by getting the public to associate the hippies with marijuana and blacks with heroin, and then criminalizing both heavily, we could disrupt those communities.
I'm not familiar with that quote.
Oh, really?
But
shocking.
I can go and read it later, but that's still
you
not
should
getting,
really
it's
read
not,
it later.
That's not getting to the point of saying that people are incarcerated because decisions that they make to commit crimes. Is that not true?
Well, yes, that's
the
how
reason
the
that none of
criminal
us, the reason that
do
none
you
of us,
want to respond to
the reason
what
that
he
none
just
of us,
said?
the reason that none of us are selling dope, why? Because we don't want to go to prison. We value our lives. If you are going to sell drugs and you're going to kill people and you're going to commit robbery, you're going to go to jail.
Yes,
you can't blame all of that on
the
war on crime or whatever the case may be.
But the war on crime was specifically to get black men to go to jail.
It is nothing wrong.
They literally admitted
it is nothing wrong with imposing laws that help our community. You act
How
like,
does that help our community?
Let me explain. You act like it's a good thing for black people to be selling drugs in our community. It is not. So when you go to jail for selling drugs, in my opinion, and I think the opinion of anybody that's rational, that is a benefit to the black community
Diva,
by
in
getting
this quote,
drug dealers,
says,
criminals off the street.
Friend.
And our communities to be able to thrive, our property value to be able to go up. These people need to go to jail.
Dude,
that's not a negative.
Okay, I hear you, thank you. But literally, the domestic policy chief is saying we could disrupt those communities. He is openly admitting. No, I let you talk a lot. I need you to let me speak.
You to clarify this.
No.
Disrupt these communities in what way? What is he saying disrupt the communities?
By heavily criminalizing.
To what go? To what end?
To hurt black people.
I can't stand this little chick. I really can't, because she don't know. She really don't know. You talking to somebody who come from that. Like, you talking about somebody who come from that kind of poverty, who come from my mama having to ask me, do I want the lights cut off or the water cut off for the week? Like, I come from hand-me-downs and thrift store shoppings and dirty clothes to school. Like, I come from that. I come from nothing but Christmas candy for dinner because mama at work and my brothers is not home. Like, I come from that. I come from projects. I come from there. I come from the hood. I come from there. I come from poverty. I come from my mama making too much money on paper so we don't qualify for food stamps. I come from that. And every day, guess what? It was still a choice. Like, you keep trying to take the choice away from black people on making the decision to either sell drugs, do drugs, or just have drugs on them. Like, understand that it's still a choice at the end of the day. I don't care who we talking about. I don't care what quote we talking about. I don't care whose administration we talking about. I don't care we don't have boats or we didn't have planes to drop drugs off in the hoods. Guess what? You still made the choice to do them. But then we turn around and we glorify all the major drug kingpins. We glorify Freeway Rick Ross. We glorify Alpo and Rich Porter and AZ. We glorify Frank Lucas and all. We glorify Nicky Barnes. We glorify these dudes. We glorify Tony Montana and all them and everybody, all the families and all that from the mob. Like, we glorify this BS. And then turn around when it get used against us. Oh, now it was a racist plot against our community. It was like, well, make up your mind. Was it a racist plot against the community, or was it something to glorify because people had everything you want who sold and dealt in drugs? That is the problem with our community. We so hypocritical about everything, man. We so hypocritical about everything. And it's getting ridiculous. People are getting tired of it. This chick literally was taking the choice away from black people as if it's never black people's fault for going to jail, going to prison for drug possession or trafficking or selling. Like it's none of our faults. Because it's all was a racist ploy from the Nixon administration and then on to heavily incarcerate black people, majority over any other race. So you telling me nobody had a choice? I just told you where I come from, what kind of conditions I come from. And guess what? I decided I want to be different. I got to be different. So I done went and joined the military for over 10 years of my life. Best decision I done made because I can handle it. I'm like that. I'm like all them dudes out. It was still a choice at the end of the day because a lot of them could have did the same thing I did. A lot of them could have chose college. They didn't. Now look at them. Either locked up, dead. I'm like, or they just trying to figure it out still. Some still doing it. I'm like, you can't sit here and keep trying to take the onus off of the decision makers. At the end of the day, I don't care about the policy. I don't care about the quote, none of that. At the end of the day, if you still decide to break the crime or break the law or whatever and commit crime, then you get held accountable, period. Like, why are we forgetting that part? Like, why is that so hard to fathom and understand for a lot of people? You break laws, you commit crimes, you get held accountable. I don't care if somebody had dropped off a bag at my doorstep with I don't know how many, pounds of drugs, kilos of drugs, whatever. I'm not touching it. I don't need it at all. Like I'm getting get this away from me. I don't care who come get it. Just get it away from my house, away from my family. I don't care. I don't need it. Even if it was back then, I still wouldn't have got a hold of it. I had chances. You think there's a shortage of drug dealers in the hood? You think I couldn't link up with one of them or multiple of them? It wasn't hard. It wasn't rocket science. I just didn't want to do it. I knew the consequences and I'd rather not go through the consequences because I'm that strong-minded. So what you're saying is because it's none of the black people's fault that commit the crime. Even though she agreed to it, you commit the crime, you go to jail, she agreed to it and then continue to try to push this quote. I was like, yeah, I agree the quote is racist. For sure, 100%. But guess what? It means nothing if you don't give it no power. It means nothing if you decide not to do it. If you decide not to do the drugs that's dropped off in the hood. If you decide not to sell them. If you decide not to have them, period. It's about being strong-minded and making the choice of difference. So if you're saying that we don't have a lot of strong-minded black people that come from the hood, I mean, okay, cool. Because that must be what you're saying. We don't have a lot of strong-minded black people in the hood. Okay. I was one of them. So it is possible. You can't say it's not. So that means we have to say that a lot of those that still do it, were doing it, made choices to do it. Period. They made choices to do it. I don't care about the quote. I don't care about the policy. You chose to do it. That just is what it is. I'm like, and she want to negate that. This chick only want to debate. Here's the crazy thing. I love how black people like her and all the black people that was here debating Brandon Tatum, none of them have any solutions. They only have complaints. That's it. Only have complaints. None of them have solutions. It's always just white people did this, white people that, and it was always been racist against us and always did and still is. And all. But yet you still live here too. You won't change nothing. Tell me why it is. If there was a ploy to just disrupt the communities of color, why didn't you indulge in any drugs, in selling, doing, or any of that? You think there's a shortage of drug addicts where I come from? You think I ain't see them every day walking around my neighborhood? But you know what I said? I didn't want to be like that. So I made the choice not to indulge in anything that had to do with drugs. So it ain't like it's not possible coming from those kind of conditions. It really is. So at some point, no matter the laws, policies, quotes, any of that, at some point, you have to put the responsibility and accountability back on the black people that decide to indulge in this stuff. At the end of the day, you got to. You can't just sit here and say all day, every day is white people's fault. Like, no, because every time, it's crazy. How did I not get arrested and these people who sold drugs got arrested? Maybe it's because it's a crime and they committed it. And I didn't. You know what that's called? It's called a choice. That means I made a choice. Even coming from where I come from, I made a choice. Coming from the bottom of the bottom, I made a choice not to indulge myself in it. Like, at some point we got to stop. Then that's the problem. Because later on, there was a black guy that was debating Brandon Tatum, talking about some, right, people on the right like you, black conservatives like you, love to avoid accountability. No, we putting accountability where it's supposed to be. We're putting the difference is you don't like where we put the accountability. We put the accountability on our own people. That's why. We put the accountability on our own, and you don't like that. It's not avoiding accountability. You sounded stupid. Not her, but the dude later on, if you watch the whole debate. It's a black dude that sits there with Brandon Tatum trying to say black conservative like him and I avoid accountability or don't do accountability. And that's wrong. Completely false and incorrect. The problem is with you is that we put the accountability on our own people because of the decisions we make in our own community. And y'all got a problem with it. Y'all got a problem. It's funny, we hold our own accountable because we are black, and like now we get called coons, Uncle Toms. We race traitors. We love white people. We hate ourselves and want to be white so bad because you're not going to put the accountability on our people, and nobody else is because they're scared to. So we decide we're going to put accountability on our own people when it's necessary, and you have such a problem with it. That's the real root of the problem. Y'all don't like accountability being put on our own race, on our own community. You don't like it. Even if it makes sense, even if it's correct, you don't like it. It's time for you to get over that. I'm just saying. I feel like I'm good on my own. Don't need nobody beside me.